Good morning, everybody. This is Brett Zachman, Zach, founder of Be Min. And we're here again. It's Facebook Live time on Friday, and we're talking about your financial freedom. We're going to be speaking about how to get physically fit with your money. All right, now sitting to my right here is one of my favorite men in the whole wide world, Mr. Greg Dyer. And he is one of our advisory council members. So we're going to just hit this off, right? We got 15 minutes, power-packed,
all right,
action. So I got to ask you, why Be Min?
You know, I met you through a fellow council member, JB.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We kind of had this common place in regards to, getting over divorce.
That's right.
And that's how we kind of started and fell into that. And it just kind of happened. And why am I still with it? Because I believe that we need to work together as men to become better men. I don't have my stuff together either, and I just,
You don't get your poop in a
No,
groove?
I don't have my poop in a groove. And it's nice to know that it's okay to reach out. And I love the fact that with Be Men we build this safe space, for guys to start feeling like, okay, I don't have to be that guy that feels like he's got his stuff together, show up in the world that way. I can ask for help. I can be vulnerable. I can be kind to the women in my life. I can be good to my kids. I can be, I don't have to be this,
You don't have to be Hulk smash.
Right.
Right, awesome.
Right.
And this guy knows a little bit about that. We're going to get to that. So, we appreciate you showing up like that. And you're absolutely right. It is about creating a safe container, I went through divorce. You went through divorce, JB. Now, it's not mandatory, man, okay? So just so you know, the catalyst of out of your pain comes your purpose, that's a very strong cliche that runs rampant through Be Men. But there is no rules that say thou must get a divorce and then you can come be a part of Be Men. That's not what's going on here. It's just us creating this safe container in a place where, as Greg is talking about, you can actually get vulnerable and it's okay. Because where else in the world do we get this opportunity? It seems like almost never, right? Now, I know another big thing that we have in common is this little thing called fatherhood, right?
Yeah.
Now, you have a daughter?
I do.
Now, she is how old now?
She's going to be 10 here in about a month.
Oh, buddy, you got the preteens
I
coming,
know.
But you're still Superman, right?
I am. 10? I'm still. She's still very much Daddy's little girl.
Oh.
She still looks up to me, and still wants to be around me. Still, it's. I know everybody says that every age is a wonderful age and everything, and I tend to agree with that. Right now, though, I'm hanging on to her and the memories and the things that we're creating. Like, I don't know. I've had enough people come up to me and look at me. Hey, it's going to go really fast. Cherish these and savor them, and I'm trying to do my best to do that. And part of that's growing as a man, and part of that's growing to be a better man for her, to be a better provider for her, to not only that, but show her, look, you don't have to fall into the societal norms of you need to do this, and this, and otherwise you're not going to be accepted. Find out what that is. It's burning in your heart, that dream that you have. Chase that with unrelenting pursuit,
Ah, nice. I like it. It's a warrior, right?
Go with that.
We talk about that, right?
Exactly. And when people are going to show up and tell you that there's no way that you can do it, I want to show her that. I want to give her that space that she has that ability, but also the realism that there's things in life that have to be taken care of if you want them, and learn how to balance all of that stuff. Not be discouraged by the fact that you didn't make it this time or the 100th time or the 1000th time. Keep going if that's what you want to do. And I want to show her that, and that's what I've been trying to do. Even though
I think you do it, man. Does she know about your involvement with Be Men? Have you discussed that? I mean,
we've
I know
talked
she's
a little
only
bit
10.
about it. I don't know exactly all that she kind of comprehends yet, but I've talked with her more specifically about how I want, it's my intention to show her how a man shows up and relates with the women around him. So whether it be my girlfriend and how I relate to her, or her mother and how I relate to her, or the grandmothers or whatever, I want my daughter to now see that and then be able to model that if gets older, not only how she treats other people, but how she invites the men into her world.
And that's huge.
You know, I want her to, you know, to see that this is how a man treats the women around.
There you go.
Around her, and that. Okay, so when you bring in knuckleheads into your world, and you will,
right?
You know, this is what you.
That's
you
right.
do, so.
You know, I've heard a lot of times that we talk about this at our financial company. When it comes to leadership, the most important thing that you can display is exampleship. So that's what you're talking about, right? You're being the example of, you know, so many times they talk about a daughter picks a man based on daddy, right? Daddy was the example, good, bad, or the ugly, about what it means to be a man. So thinking about fatherhood and parenting and about money. So you mentioned like being a provider, right? I mean, that's so much the avalanche of pressure on men's shoulders across America to be that provider. When you became a father, and as you've continued to be a father and be present and show up, has that shifted your mentality or your philosophies around money in your life?
You know, to be honest and vulnerable with you about this, it does. Does it shift how I operate? Not always. The habits, you know, or some of the habits are difficult to get past. And I know you have some questions for me around this, and I'd like to open up and let you know where I think all of that came from and why, you know, I feel myself stuck in a spot right now. You know, where it's like, this is what I do. I'm a trainer.
Right.
I go to the gym and I help people. What I want to aspire to is stepping out of that and taking this message that I learned dealing with bodies in my own body and how I have done things and achieved things there around that arena, and then take that into a more general world and just the mindset work and going in and speaking to others about mindset, having my own podcast around mindset, doing the workshops that I do around mindset because of everything that I've learned in the physical arena and how I see how that now relates to everything else. Have I applied it to my finances?
Wait, you going to get a little honest and vulnerable with us?
I am.
So we're going to practice what we preach.
Yes.
I love it.
I am.
That is strength, gentlemen.
So
the Hulk here can get a little bit vulnerable. And look what happened. I did not strip the flesh off his bones like zombie apocalypse. Isn't that what we all think in our minds? Right? Show weakness and what? You're a wussy. Oh. Now, this man is far from a wussy. In fact, I would tell you that him getting live with us this morning and opening up and proving that he's vulnerable, that's strength. And guess what? At some point, I think your 10-year-old daughter will recognize that, right? Mm-hmm. Cognitively, she may not be there yet, but what happens when she's 20 and 30 and 40 and a grown woman and attracting or not attracting, men into her life? And who she wants as a life partner, and she'll have you and your exampleship to fall back on. That is awesome, man. So, thinking about you being a physically fit guru, right? I like what you started to talk about in terms of that transition. So you've been doing this for a while, right? How long have you been a physical fitness instructor?
I've been in the fitness industry over 30 years, whether it be, my first foray into becoming a personal trainer many, many years ago in my early 20s, to my experience, my journey as training myself, learning to become a bodybuilder, being a bodybuilder, into the strength world, and then about 15 years ago, getting fired from my job at Comcast, and what do I do now? Well, I've got all this experience. Why don't I just get certified and become a trainer? And I did.
Right.
And I've been doing that and training people now for a little over 14 years as a personal trainer. And the lessons that I've learned in there in dealing with people, and learning to step away from what they think they're there for, and then learning what they're really there for, and realizing to get to this place now where I say to people all the time, it's not about the diet and exercise.
It's not?
No. It's about the stories that you're telling yourself. It's about the things that are
I was going to question you, brother. I'm like, if it's not about diet and it's not about exercise, what the hell could it possibly be about?
It's about this thing. It's about the stuff between our ears and how it's shaping things, getting in our way, helping us, not helping us. Most of the time, it's just getting in our way.
So we're our own worst enemy.
Right.
So wait a sec. So the 6 inches between the earlobes might be my most powerful muscle regarding my physical fitness. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. All right, I can make this transition easy. I got it. 2 + 2 is 4. So if this little gray matter, gentlemen, is the biggest, most important muscle in your body around your physical fitness, guess what? It's also your biggest, most important muscle regarding your mindset on money.
Boy, I threw you that great segue, didn't I?
You did, man. You had to tee it up. So, hey, March Madness is around the corner. So if Hurley's going to throw it up there, Grant Hill is slamming it down.
Yeah,
so I'm slamming it down. So this 6 inches of gray matter, gentlemen, that is the most important muscle with your money mindset. You are your own worst enemy. You know why? Because guess what this little 6 inches has been doing? For 20,000 years, it's been trying to figure this out. The path of least resistance. Now, if you go study success, right, physical fitness, did you have to sweat a little?
Oh.
Did you have to cry a little?
Yeah.
Was there a little blood involved for
yeah.
you to become Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh,
Yeah, of course. So resistance creates growth. Guess what your brain doesn't want? Resistance of any type. It wants to sit on the couch, eat bonbons, watch football, drink beer, and then die. No resistance. I don't know. I just make it up as I go. So that's awesome. All right. Well, you mentioned 30 years? You started in the gym when you were 10?
I'm 50. I started in the gym, actually. My first walk into the gym, I was 14 years old.
Nice.
It was a gym in junior high school.
So you can get rolling at a young age.
Yeah.
Same thing with money. Why wait? Get started today. So at our age, right, we've got a little bit of wrinkle cred. We've got some of that stuff in the hair now, right? What are we getting? Wiser. That's right. We're getting wiser, Greg. We're getting wiser.
Gray.
So at your age now, talking to the men in our community, and maybe even men who are not in our community yet, when it comes to money, what would you tell them that maybe you've learned in your go-round?
For me, seek out somebody to help you. It's the same thing. I mean, people come to me in the gym because they don't know how to approach that. So they look for somebody that knows what they're doing for help. And I may have a lot of experience in the gym. I may have a lot of experience around, the diet and the nutrition part. I may have a lot of experience now understanding the mindset portion and how it relates to how we achieve things in the gym with our bodies and whatnot. I don't have an understanding or experience of how to work this thing out, how to apply those things to money.
Okay.
And the thing is that the same thing that's happening with a lot of people with their bodies, that lack mentality, kind of creeps in, and it creeps in a whole lot of different ways.
The scarcity mindset, right? Okay.
And I have that around money, and I know a lot of guys, I know a lot of people in our society have that because I'm not the only one that's at this place.
Yeah, you might be unique in a lot of things, but yeah. I don't think you're unique in that.
I may not carry that scarcity mentality of like I'll never have, a physically fit body. I'll never be able to do that, or I'll always be fat, or whatever people have in their mind. I mean, it breaks down to a worthiness thing, and in that arena, I don't have a problem with worthiness. I know what I'm doing in there. I know that I will achieve it. If I set my mind to it, something physically, I will get it.
Okay.
And I've irritated people with that.
So you're like a dog with the bone,
it's like,
man.
give me the bone. I'm going to chew that thing until it's marrow.
Bulldog. Okay.
Money, I don't do that.
So you can do it in the gym.
Yes.
But it's tough to do it.
Yes. And the thing is I've got people that are, just the opposite. They got their money thing figured out. They don't know what they're doing with their body. And that's a lot of my clients because they can afford to pay for me.
There you go. So it's okay. What Greg is telling us is it's okay to not be an expert in everything. Oh. And most of us aren't, right? We're an expert in one thing. I mean, why do I go to a doctor? I don't do surgery on myself if I have a bum knee. I go to some... I try.
All right, so it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah. So that's not an admission of weakness, gentlemen. If you study success and find out people who are successful, you will find out that the best men, the greatest men on the face of the planet, guess what they have? They still have coaches and experts that they go to, even if they're a billionaire, even if they're, winning Mr. Universe, even if they've attained the top of the level, they're still looking for growth. So I think I've got about one more question for you. We talk all the time. One of my favorite quotes is, to have courage is to have heart, right? But to encourage is to give heart. And I know you've got a huge heart and that hulk of a chest in there, brother. So what would you say to kind of wrap us up in today's session? What would be your encouraging word to pass a piece of your heart to these men about their money?
I would let go of the ego's need to always be right, to always show strength, and think that you have everything together, show everybody that you have everything together, while underneath you're just screaming inside. That little boy inside of you is screaming for help. I would ask for help. I would go ahead and step into that vulnerability. Have the courage to take the step to the edge there and jump. Jump into, and knowing that there's a net there, there are arms there, there are people there that are more than capable and more willing to help.
Nice.
You know, reach out to somebody like Zach if you got issues with finances, like, you know, I have done and will continue to do.
There you go.
You know, whatever it is. I mean, I see it in the gym all the time. The knucklehead guys, well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't label it that way, but the people, the guys in the gym, because I've over the years, I've had far fewer guys that will come to me. Because I know this. I know this. I can do this.
They're
and I watch them in the gym, and I'm like, just a little bit of guidance here, and they would have a bit. But that's just it. It's being able to be vulnerable, and it's okay, you guys.
Yeah, there you go. It is okay. It's okay to ask for support, right? Getting support from another, gentlemen, here's an aha moment. Getting support, surrounding yourself with experts, people who know more than you about different topics. I promise you, Greg knows way more than I do in the gym. He's a physical fitness expert and guru. He spent 30 years of his life becoming a master at that. Now, am I a former athlete? Yeah, but I'm not a guru, so I can use his support. That is a sign of strength, not weakness. So we're wrapping up today, and we'll have one more week next week talking about your financial freedom. We think it's that important. I'll be back one more time, and I'm going to tell you my story. I'm going to peel the covers off that ball, man, all the way to the bottom to let you know exactly what's going on for me. As we finish up today, I'm going to do a little plug. We've got coming up Saturday, March 16th, here in the Denver area, we're going to be supporting St. Baldrick's Foundation. If you don't know St. Baldrick's, you should get to know them. They're the second largest funder of children's cancer research in America outside the federal government. Whoa. And they do events all across the country. They kind of join it with St. Patty's Day. So the 16th, we're going to be in Highlands Ranch, Lansdowne Arms, 9352 Dorchester Street. Come out, drink a green beer. Don't drink a green beer. Shave your head for Solidarity for Cancer Research. If you're a little too particular and a little vain about those hairs on the top of your head, then just watch me shave my head and get a laugh on. We thank you for being here this morning. Let's all go out there and be extraordinary.